Hi there. I want to talk about how to keep your right mind during things that seem to be confusing in this world that we're living in today. So, you know, part of the problem is that we, um, have a barrage of information coming to us from the media, whether it's social media or just media on television or the radio. Um, and some of the issues that we're dealing with uh, today in the 21st century um, are pretty big, and you know, there's a lot of unrest, in the world right now. But that doesn't mean that you have to feel like that unrest somehow exists exists in your own thinking or in your own mind. For me, one of the best ways to process events that are happening in the world is to talk about them. Usually, it helps to talk to another person, but for me, a way that has been effective or has been good in the past has been actually journaling and writing things down. I think the problem comes when we feel that the unrest in the world is affecting our own mental state and our own sense of well-being. Um, there's been stories in the past where people have gone through horrendous suffering and difficulties, but somehow have managed to remain a sense to keep a sense of optimism in their lives, right? So like, um, you can be in prison, or you can be, you know, your rights in a sense can be taken away from you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that because you're living in a situation where um, you could be a political prisoner, you could be some kind of just a somebody who's like experiencing confinement. That doesn't mean, and those are horrendous situations, but um, you know, to keep a sense of clarity in your thinking is so important. And I think, um, I think when we start to worry and we start to panic about situations that are going on around us, the only way through that, sometimes is, just to get a good night's sleep and have a clear mind. Because when our thoughts calm down, then we can actually see the situation, no matter how bad it is, we can see it for what it is. And I think when we have that perspective, which comes through having a rested mind, rested thinking, then we can proceed whatever that looks like. Um, so yeah, so just some ideas on how, with what seems to be a chaotic world that we're living in. um, you know and again, it's, don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself for other people's mistakes. Don't blame yourself for something that God, like an act of God. Like, we're not God. If there's natural disasters or things that, on top of all the unrest, civil and political and all kinds of unrest in the world, you know um, don't blame God, but at the same time, don't blame yourself for something that is beyond your control, right? So, um, I think everybody these days wants to kind of point the finger, but if we're honest, we're going to look at our own hearts first. Um, be honest with ourselves. We're all made in the image of God. Human beings may not be behaving like that these days, but that doesn't take away that truth that we're all created in the image of God. Um, yeah, so I'm just trying to bring a bit of perspective into some of the unrest and suffering that's going on in this present world. Anyways, thanks for listening. Bye bye.